story, but I'm like, dude,
No,
that's
no,
like,
yeah.
that could be a podcast without BMX alone. You could have just talked about that, and I would have been like, whoa, dude, it's crazy.
You could. I did a 5-hour podcast with that one dude. What is it? Not Beaver.
Goat?
What's it? Huh?
The goat guy?
Yeah, the goat guy. I did a 5-hour one with him, and then I went
Shout
on
out
my.
to that dude.
I went to YouTube and I did an hour one on mine, and then me and Brent did a 2-hour show after that. So I did 8 hours of podcasting and talking.
All right, everybody.
Awesome,
we're back with Y2KBMX and Early2000sbmx on Instagram because Ricky called me immediately after we closed out the last stream, and James was like, yo, we should do all three of us. So we're in here. I don't know how long it's going to last. Ricky's busy. He's got to do his thing. But while we're here, let's enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
All right. So you guys fight to the death, and whoever wins gets the Instagram pages.
Well, I just have to say he's got more time on his hands than I do. I don't tag people. I don't I don't tag who filmed it, what the videos is. I just like to talk about it and then let the people in the comments talk. That was my idea. My idea was to give a description and a thing to it, and then just let everybody duke it out.
No, I think it's dope. Yours leaves a lot of room open for conversation, and it's straight to the point, and I think it's sick, man. I've always been a fan of your pages, so I think that's dope. I love Y2KBMX. So it's raw, man. It's got like a raw feel to it, and I was like, dude, that's sick. And I like the logo and stuff. I'm like, it's just kind of like cut and dry, raw BMX, and I was like, this fucking, that's sick. So I admire that style, and my posts, I'm busy, but I'm like posting at night a lot of times. I'm all over the place when I'm posting. So
now, are you doing stuff from BMX Media page, or are you getting actual content from the actual people? Now, how do you get your content?
A little bit of both. Like Brant was asking me earlier, he'll be like, do you just like sometimes like, whoa, that video was cool, like from back in the day, I should go find it. Well, yeah, like I'll do that, but people are sending me clips, or like, Colin McKay will post like a Throwback Thursday as the latest one. I'll like, oh, that was sick, and it fits the page, I'm gonna repost it, and you'll find like throwback photos and stuff dudes post, or it's probably the same way you probably go through stuff and you find stuff, and then it's like a rabbit trail, and you're like, whoa, that's cool too, I'm gonna save that. You know what I mean?
Well, mine mainly goes with stories of hanging out with dudes. Like I almost fought John Heaton, and I wrote a story on Y2K about it and wrote a post about it, and somebody reached out, or Dave Frymuth reached out to him, and then he reached out to me, and then we had a long conversation talking about it, and we were both sick. I think we were both like 17 at the time, and it was like a miscommunication. Like in McDonald's in Canada, they don't have the menu up top. The menu's at the bottom. He was in front of me with his girlfriend, and he thought I was staring at his girlfriend's ass. And I was like, no, I'm looking at the fucking, what did I say to him? I said, I'm looking at getting a parfait. Nobody's looking at your ugly girlfriend's ass. And then we almost got into a fight, and that was at Vancouver Metro Jam.
I was going to say, was it for Metro? Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny. A lot of things that I post are like personal things that I have with some of those people. And then, like I said before we got on here, was a lot of people would be like, how the hell do you know this, or who is that? And then finally I kind of went public with letting people know who I was.
Because, yeah, that's sick.
It's not just me. I have another person that helps me. His name's Instadiggles, and he runs the mid-school. He runs the mid-school page, and I just told him I wanted to do something to give back for 2000 to 2010 because I'm fucking tired of everybody in mid-school. Everything's mid-school this, mid-school that. And I'm like, yeah, mid-school is cool, but I want to do something for when I grew up kind of thing.
Yeah, there is a difference. And a lot of people, if you go on these mid-school Facebook forums, they think everything up to 2010 was mid-school or whatever. But it's like, you got to find there's definitely a difference, and I thought that was cool. So I get, Y2K is kind of like the heart of like, it's the same thing, it's like the 2000s, which is sick.
So when you get original content, I guess, obviously you haven't been around me, but I'm a BMX whore beyond BMX whore. So like,
yeah.
So here's an old photo of Mike Hoder when he was 15, before he got sponsored and everything. So I have like a lot of original stuff that hasn't been like released. Like I got videos of things. I got like videos of Bruce Chrisman and stuff from like 1999, 2000. So I have like tons of shit, but I don't know. I got really motivated when I saw yours on. Well, I'll be honest with you. At first, I was like, this cocksucker stole the best name, and then I was like, this is kind of cool. And then I was like, it's like my best way of branding it would be I'm Pusher Magazine, and your Ride BMX from the UK. Because I wouldn't say the Ride
it's different.
Here. You know, I like the Ride UK one more than I like BMX. Here.
Yeah, and I was telling Brad, I started in 2015 on that, and I kind of just stopped, and then I picked it back up. So actually, you might have started first, or I might have started first, but yeah, it wasn't like, I get what you're saying. You probably thought, when you saw my page starting to escalate, you're probably like, oh, he's trying to like knock my steez, but I've always been like, no, I just, like I said.
I was saying that you fucking cleaned it up, and you made it better than what I did. You actually put, my thought is more of, I like the discussion of the mentality of what
your captions are sick. Yeah, your captions are a story, and I think that's sick, and I think there's a need for that, and I wouldn't want you to change it or vice versa. You know what I mean? Like, you'll post. Yeah, I think that's dope. You get a picture or a video, and then you have like a caption about. Your captions are really well thought and written. They're super dope.
Yeah, and I get kind of jealous when I'll see yours, and I'm like, son of a bitch, I could have just did this or did that, and the first time that I noticed you is a video that I posted it with. Obviously, it's not my video. We both jacked it. But like 3 years ago, I posted Kevin Porter doing the tail whip, X up, kick flip.
Crank flips. Yep.
Yeah. And,
that's a trick?
Yeah, you saw it. You commented on it, actually, Brant.
Well, I don't remember that because Instagram is endless. Holy crap.
Let's just say the best part of that was Jay Miron riding during that contest. That's all that mattered. Fuck the rest.
With that picture of him doing that huge flatty, that huge table. Have you seen that picture?
Yeah.
Is that oppo or regular?
I don't remember, dude. Yeah, who knows, man.
And there's another thing that, like, see, I'm one of those guys that doesn't. I guess I don't have a filter. So when I figured out that you had a page, I was like, all right, here's how I know if his page is taken serious or not. Is if Jay Miron follows you, then you know your page is legit. That's the only way to.
That's the only way it counts.
Huh?
That's the only way it counts. That doesn't matter.
To me, in my eyes, if Jay Miron's following you, you're legit.
Nah, I feel ya.
Hell yeah. I like what you're doing. So here's my favorite thing. In your DMs, what's the best DM you got from an ex-pro?
Dude. Man, I don't know. Like, there's some stuff like, God, just like they'll be like commenting on certain things like trick they did, and they'll be like responding to a comment like, God, I hate when motherfuckers criticize me about like that trick. Like, dude, I was like, this is like 10, 15 years ago, and somebody comments that like I do this with my foot or something like that, and it's like, you know what I mean? Like, they're like still like upset about like somebody making a comment about a trick they did way before anybody was doing the trick. And I'm like, dude, relax. You're innovative. Like, you're the man. Don't worry.
Are you talking about Jim Selinsky right now, or who are you calling out?
I'm not calling out anybody, but I'm just saying.
Jim Selinsky's like the greatest one when it comes to like people don't think about the way he thought about BMX was so completely outside of the box that people always took him for being grumpy or an asshole, but it wasn't he was grumpy or an asshole. He's just an artist, and people that think that way are completely different than others. You know, like I guess when you guys are trying to describe that new kid, that Trevor kid, that kid's just on his own. You know, he's in his own fucking world.
Yo,
and
which
people that are like that. You know, people that are like that.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, I feel it. And most of the stuff's nothing like, you know, I mean, a lot of guys will comment on like a story post or something like that, and they'll be like super stoked, and they'll offer like story like, oh, I was there for that, and like it was crazy. Like, you know, like they'll talk about like I forget, like when Kagi was trying wall ride flares like before anybody, but it was over a sub box at Merritt Island in Florida. It was like a wall ride flare over a gnarly sub, and they had to take his bike away so he'd stop trying it. Like people would comment like in the stories like I was there for that dude. It was gnarly. We had to like hide his bike because he was gonna try it until he was going to the hospital. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like those gnarly DMs. But I was telling Brant like. I grew up around the Midwest BMX scene, working at the Flow, so I was around a lot of guys back in the day with Chinga and the Flow, mostly the Flow, but that scene. So it's cool to come up around it. It sounds like you came up in the Northwest.
Yeah. So Matt Sparks, is that what we're going to talk about right now?
Yeah, Matt Sparks. We could talk all about Matt Sparks, dude. I mean, in my opinion, Matt Sparks paved the way for modern park riding, and I have arguments why.
You know what ruined things for Matt Sparks? You know what his you want to know what I think his downfall is?
Was it the windshield wiper?
No. His downfall is he would be so excited. He'd be so excited to ride his bike that he wouldn't wait for the fucking filmer or the photographer to set up, and he'd go out and try something that's never been done, and then he would eat shit and either wreck his bike or get hurt, and then they couldn't catch it on film.
Yeah,
and I feel like
always said that.
Yeah. I always felt like that was one thing that ruined it for him.
No, I thought you meant like him like not getting the credit he deserved with like the windshield wiper and stuff. Like, but he did that. Matt Sparks did the first wall ride flare. I actually witnessed it in person, and he hit his head a few times on that and just sent it at the Flow first wall ride flare. And then he was trying to hand plant the bar spins off this gnarly back rail into this wedge, and it was not a clean setup at all. And like, dude, you're right. He would just get too excited and crash, but he was light years ahead of his time. So, you know, and in my opinion, he was pushing the modern day way into park riding with what kids are doing now with the whips and stuff, because he was, you know, coming out with the windshield wipers, and he was doing Superman seat grab, the whips and stuff, and like he was ahead of the curve on that. And then dudes were taking his tricks and learning them and going to the U-Tour and winning, and Sparks had all his tricks years before, you know?
Right, and he's Matt Sparks is exactly like fuck, I always forget this dude's name, and I'm gonna feel like an asshole. Who's the guy that first did the front flip tail whip?
Scotty Kramer did the first one.
Is it? No.
Are you talking about backflip tail whips? Or are you talking about Adam Strebe?
Are you talking about Adam Strebe with the backflip tail?
He's talking about Adam Strebe.
Hold on. No, I'm talking about the dude that did the bunny hop. The bunny hop backflip off the piece of wood.
Wasn't that Matt Sparks?
No. Somebody in the comments help me out. I'm not in the comments, but
Craig Mast.
Craig Mast, that's it.
Craig Mast.
Craig Mast did a flare. Yeah, he did a flare off of the wood.
Okay, flare, whatever. Now, I feel like Craig Mast didn't get enough love, and I always told Craig, I was like, look, when you went to the Indy 500 car race and you had the owner of fucking Red Bull and the owner of Monster Energy Drink talking to you and telling you they wanted to do everything, and you told them no, I was like, I feel like that's your point in BMX where you just, everybody has that pinnacle in their life where if they make that choice, this could happen. You know what I mean? Or that could happen. It's like when Hoder went to Metro Jam and he decided to jump out of the fucking Coliseum or the hockey rink.
One of the gnarliest things ever. Yeah, that's so gnarly.
Yeah, and if he didn't do that, Jim Zielinski, who was starting Sunday, wouldn't have been like, hey, I want to put you on the team and be the first person. You know, it would have been somebody else to be the first person to be put on Sunday. So it's what I'm saying, like with Craig Mast, is if he would have took one of those deals instead of, you know, like all other guys, he's a good guy and stuff, but he decided to do something else, you know, his name would have been bigger. It's funny. I don't know. Well, I guess where I'm going with this story is, like, Matt Sparks is fucking amazing. I just wish he didn't break himself off so much. Jay Dalton is fucking godly, and I wish he would do more. I can name so many weird guys, even though Jay Dalton's new.
Yeah, no, 100% agree, man. All those dudes, man, like, just pushing the envelope back then, you know, and it's cool the dudes that did make it happen, like Napolitan and stuff came up riding, you know, Craig Mast, all those dudes were riding together, so it's cool to see some dudes break through. And Craig Mast, you know, had his years where he was going to be, you know, the next U-Tour star, and he was doing good in the U-Tour, and whatever reason, I'm not really sure, he kind of disappeared. But yeah, you're right, man. It's all about what path you go and if that's the path you want to take. But You're right. Sparks definitely was doing tricks before anybody that nobody had thought about back then, like windshield wipers and stuff. And you're right. James Foster started doing them at Dew Tour. No shots fired on that. It's amazing. He dialed them in, but like you're right. Sparks was trying this stuff before a photographer could get it captured. So nobody really knew.
But the thing that you have to look at also is if you accredit those crazy tricks to Matt Sparks, you have to go back and look at Cameron Birdwell. Because Cameron Birdwell was doing so many of those crazy variations with seat grabs, peg grabs, you know what I mean?
Insane. Yeah, you go back to even Matt Hoffman, Hoffman was trying crazy stuff back in the day that nobody was imagining too, of course. So I'm not saying that to a sense, but yeah, you're totally right.
Well, I know. And then that's what's great about BMX. As soon as you said Matt Hoffman, then I go to Joe Johnson. And then you can go to the first backflip by Yares or whatever the hell his name is.
Into the lake, he was trying doubles back then into the lake even.
Yeah, he was the first one to do doubles. And that's how, for me, I always feel like, okay, well, I know what I lived, and I should know that, but I should also know about early 90s, late 80s, the freestyle area, and the one era that I don't realize or understand is the late 70s, early 80s. Like, I just never paid attention to that one. And if you go back and you look at, like, the Curb Dog era and some dudes in, like, 1980 blasting out of 10-foot quarters, like 7 or 8 feet on a fucking, one of those Kuhara or whatever the hell they are, it's crazy to me. Yeah, and they got, no, from the UK. That's what's so fucking funny. Yeah. Like, Team Zano, is his name Team Zano? That dude that was on BSD or whatever. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'm familiar. I'm thinking about Cheeky Monkey BMX. They post a lot of that stuff. Those UK quarter pipe contest stuff.
God, it's so great. See, and then the one thing is, I don't know if you go back this deep, but do you look up old school blog spots and try to get things from that? Like blog spots, Vital BMX. If you go through the forum and you go back to the early 2000s, you can pull up a lot of great shit. And another one you can pull out of LB's. If you backlog through LB's.
Oh, I've done that for sure. I've found so many classic pictures of like CeeLo games and like crazy stuff like from way back. Yeah, that's great. LB's is an archive, dude. Fat BMX too, yeah.
Oh God. Another one is Hoder used to have a blog spot called the not the Come Up. It was called the Come Up. Just Come Up.
It was a shirt company too, right?
Yeah, with Bruce Krusman and I think even Andrew Carpenter was going to be on it. But if you go back and look at his, you can find some good shit. Same with the Gully Factory. Obviously, you know the Gully Factory. You lived over there. You know, did you ever do a blog spot?
I haven't. No. You know, this is the closest thing. I did an interview with Dave Dilworth one time, a written interview. And then I also did a written interview with the owner of SCG. That's the closest I've ever came. And I posted that on another website or a BMX page I was running. But I did those interviews a while ago, but I never did a blog straight up.
I had one in 1999 to 2005. And then I did another one from 2008 to 2007 to 2012. So,
oh, really?
I had endlessriders.com, which was my clothing company. I was in dance comp. I had a shirt called Women Dig My 20-inch. Ride Like You're High on Crack. Okay, I had that shirt.
And then that shirt.
Well, it's easier when you know somebody in there. So it's all who you know and who you blow. It doesn't matter what you have.
Who was the buyer? Was his name Ernesto or something at the end? The buyer at the end at the time? Or
no, it was Frank.
Okay.
Yeah, and then now awesome. What is it? Yeah, definitely. Well, I love you, dude. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Go to my woman's and she cooked me. Let's do something where we collab both of our pages together and do a little talk.
Yeah, I'm down. That'd be sick. Appreciate this, man. This is awesome talking to you finally.
Yeah, definitely. Good talking to you. Hey, Brent,
what?
Get a haircut, you fucking emo hippie. I love you. Guys, BMX for life. Whoever's in the comments, BMX to you guys. You know me.
Follow
I'm an
these
asshole.
Instagram pages. I got both your pages on the screen. Follow
Appreciate
them if
it.
you're not. And
love you guys. Be good.
Later.
Bye. All right, James, let's actually sign out this time. That was rad.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, all right, man.
All right, we'll talk to you later. See you, man.
Later.